is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm
Oh,
married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
What's up, everybody?
Woo!
Episode 123. That's right. 123.
I got about a lottery ticket.
Whoa.
My lucky number is 1, 2,
That's
3.
right. We're doing an episode 2 days after our last episode because we kind of missed last week, so we wanted to make it up to you.
Mm-hmm. I'm Tyler.
That's Tyler. I'm Jake.
I'm
off
Tyler.
panel, off topper.
Off panel, off.
So, Tyler, I got to get some things out of the way.
Off panel, off identity.
I told you like a couple hours before we started recording, I said, I got something special.
Yeah.
It's a surprise.
Yeah.
And it's a segment we've done plenty of times on this show.
Of course.
Honestly, probably one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, you gotta turn off the,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times my interface on my computer will just fail because I'm doing vocals until I turn that off.
I went upstairs and
That's what do we got?
I went upstairs and
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about this. If I play that bumper and then I play this video, the music would play
We
underneath it.
turned it up. No, but the music would be too loud.
No, I
'Cause
would
remember
turn
we
it
had to
down.
turn-
Yeah, but then the video, it's all coming from the same spot.
Go ahead and press play because
All
I
right.
turned it up for the
No.
video now.
Anyway, this is a clip that's been going around Twitter
Ooh,
as we're recording this November 14th.
2023.
That's right. So it's from this documentary that I've been meaning to watch. It's been on my radar for a while, and it just released it like a couple months ago, I think. It's called RoboDoc, and it's a 4-part documentary series about the making of RoboCop.
Right.
And there's this story, and I've seen the clip that we'll play is only a minute long. It's the one that's been going around Twitter.
Why do we always have so many boogers when we start the show?
It's the season, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway,
Anyway.
this is like a 2.5-minute clip. I watched the whole thing. I'm only going to play the 1-minute clip. But it is really funny because it starts out as like a thing about Peter Weller talking about how, everybody that makes a movie is an asshole at some point. You're like, my trailer should be closer to this thing. Like, that's the example he uses. And he goes, I was that guy.
Yeah.
So there's this story about Randy Moore and Peter Weller. And I'm just going to let them describe the scene.
I went upstairs and I was carrying, I don't know, about 8 Oreos.
This is Randy Moore.
A stack. I'd hand him his weapon. I'd say, Peter, safety's off. And he wouldn't take the pistol. And he says, Robo wants an Oreo. And I looked at him and go, no, it's just you and I, Peter. Robo doesn't get an Oreo.
An
Peter
Oreo.
wants an Oreo. Peter can have an Oreo. And he clip-clops in the suit over to the edge of the railing, and Peter starts bellowing, Robo wants an Oreo. And when the steel mill just echoes, Randy has Oreos, or Robo wants an Oreo. And Steve Lim over the radio goes, Randy, do you have Oreos? So I stuffed that whole stack in my mouth, and then crunched them and let them fall down 3 stories onto everybody below me. And not anymore. And Robo got upset.
I haven't got a damn clue about Randy Moore and his fucking Oreos.
That's a drop. Fucking Oreos. Oh, man.
Was that Peter at the end?
Yeah, that was Peter Weller at the end. And the full clip is even better because he's like, I love Randy. He's a friend, but don't trust them. Don't trust any fucking thing he says or something like that. Like, Peter Weller is convinced this never happened.
So, one thing that I'm sure we have at some point, but if you have a chance, go Google, go look up Peter Weller's like Wikipedia page. Go check out all of the other things he's done in his life besides movies and acting. Like he's literally like one of the world's foremost art experts in like a particular field of art. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All while filming classics like Puckaroo, Banzai, and RoboCop.
I thought you said Puckaroo.
Fuckaroo?
Oh, no, Puckaroo. It's the hockey one.
Pucker. Have you ever seen Buckaroo Banzai?
He was carrying
In his fucking Oreo.
Have you ever seen
I
Buckaroo
need to
Banzai?
get the sound isolated because I can't. His fucking Oreos. You know, I haven't seen Buckaroo Banzai and I don't give a shit.
You should. It's a great
No.
movie. Yeah.
Not my
Clancy Brown is in it.
My Clancy Brown is Mr. Krabs, and my Peter Weller is RoboCop. That's it. Isn't that crazy to think about that he's Mr. Krabs? Clancy Brown's done a ton of voice work.
Yeah, he's done a buttload of stuff.
Yeah.
And he is almost the best part of Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, he's great.
He's
Too bad he's
fantastic.
a shitty person.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Of course.
Anyway, let's talk about some news.
No.
So we did so much in the last episode. We thought this one's going to be a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, because we missed last week because of my fault.
Well, you got sick. It happens. Everybody gets sick. All over.
All over your face.
Yeah.
Hey, that was like 10 minutes before I was saying.
So we've already reviewed the Marvels. We kind of
Did you do the end
Oh my god, dude!
drop for
I
the
never do
RoboCop
anymore,
Palooza?
man. I just don't.
Thank you for your cooperation.
So
Good night.
I mean, you spent a lot of time getting that.
I did.
Just so that we could have a solid beginning and end to the RoboCop Palooza segment.
Anyway,
I'm taking your executive producer. You're just a producer now.
how dare you?
Basically, just $100 less a week.
You know what the show's gonna be?
What?
Sloppy.
Yep. Because we don't have any producers.
And it'll be
Boring!
so. Anyway, let's talk about the Marvels. We did our review for it, and bad news for the Marvels and the launch here. And I just think it's so interesting. So Variety has kind of been weird lately. So they posted we never talked about it on the show, but they made this article a couple weeks ago before the finale of Loki where they're like, Marvel MCU is so fucked beyond belief, like you don't even know, and all this stuff. Some of it might be true, some of it might not. I don't know. But they released that, and then they do this article where the headline for the Marvels is how bad the box office is, negating to, and I look, I have not read the review, or not read the article, whatever, but it just seems like negative is what sells in our media landscape.
Yeah.
So rather than say this is the biggest opening ever for a female black director, they're gonna say, well, this is the worst performing MCU movie, and I'm sure they will mention it. They have to. About the strikes, but there was no pre-tape. A lot of some of these projects were able to be promoted by the actors because they were taped before the strikes.
Yes.
They didn't do that at Marvel and Disney because they didn't think the strike would go this long.
Good job, idiots.
That's your fucking fault. You
Yeah.
shouldn't have let it go this long.
Too fucking bad.
But that's obviously, and this is why I'm upset, is because now there's going to be so many more of these stupid fucking YouTube videos.
Yep.
Blaming women.
Yeah.
And blaming the three leads being
let's
female.
talk about the shithead on Twitter.
Oh, so let me get we've talked about Chris Gore on this show before.
We have?
Yes. And
This sounds like a
it's
shithead.
just so disappointing because I used to watch this guy. He used to be on Attack of the Show. He used to do DVD. I mentioned on the show before. He did this thing called DVD Tuesday. Jesus Christ.
DV Tuesday?
Yes.
Or DVD Tuesday?
DVD.
Tuesday.
DVD Tuesday. DVD, you know what I mean. There's no T. My brain cannot say that. So I used to like this guy, and it's just been weird to see him progressively be more of a shithead. And
Oh, dude, yeah.
He's not nearly as bad. I used to think he's not nearly as bad as Nerdrotic and Heel versus Babyface and all that.
Well, look, he's tweeting out something like, making, what did he say?
He just thinks he's still trying to make edgy jokes that I just don't think are funny.
They're not.
His tweet after we have the headline $47 million opening weekend, worst MCU open ever. He quote tweets it and says that Marvel and DC. Hold on, I'll pull it up. Pretty much the summation of it was that Marvel and Star Wars being girl properties is what has caused them their downfall, pretty much. And it's just,
yeah, I mean, forget, Pepper Potts and fucking forget Princess Leia, man. I mean, yeah, fucking way to turn it over to the girls, you schmucks.
So he said turning...
I mean, who the fuck do you think you are, dude?
To be precise, he did say, turning Marvel and Star Wars into girl brands will prove to be one of the costliest decisions in entertainment history.
Well, you hope, because otherwise you're not going to get paid, you fucking shithead. Hey, look, it's the town crier dickhead. It's the guy who stands in the middle of the medieval town and cries about the Black Plague coming and nobody fucking listens to him, because guess what? He's the town idiot. Mm-hmm. And that's all he does. No. Nowadays, you can get millions of dollars for that and make a career off of it. Man, how far have we fallen? You want to talk about making stuff great again? Let's make fucking science great again. Let's make brains
all right,
great
you're getting
again.
off the beaten path.
Well, for fuck's sake. These assholes, like, they get paid so... Let me just say something to you listeners real quick that you need to know about Mr. Tyler Allen over here. And here's what it is. I fucking despise humans. They're awful and shitty, and they cheat on each other, and they suck. They're bad. And they're willing to get paid to fuck over other people because, hey, you need to make a living, And so, like, none of these assholes really surprise me, but it's just so fucking disheartening to know how many people out there are just ready to jump onto this hate bandwagon.
Well, and you
fuck all y'all.
For example, with this movie, I just to see how much fun all three of them have with each other, and
it was a fun movie.
Well, and like the stuff before the movie came out, before the strikes, they did some like shoots together, and they had some interviews before, and.
Yeah, I remember reading about it.
Well, and then Monica, is it Tiana? Tiana Paris?
Tiana Paris and Iman Vellani.
Tiana Paris. She shared, there's a video going around on Twitter of her being, how excited she is to put on the costume for the first time.
Yeah.
And like, you see people like hate on this shit, and you're like, this woman is having fun. She's getting to be a superhero.
Yeah.
And she's getting to do something cool like this. And then all you guys can think about is how pissy you are that it's a female-led movie. Like, let's fucking call it what it is. And, for example, Film Threat.
Mm.
That's what Chris Score's company is. I went to their YouTube, watched their spoiler review. 40-minute video. I watched it on double speed because I wanted to blow my fucking brains out. So I listened to it on double speed. And I shit you not, Chris Gore tried to make a joke. First of all, they constantly said Carol was gay-coded. And I said, how is she gay-coded? Because she has compassion for her friend? Like, they truly think that since the first Captain Marvel that Carol has been gay-coded. And that she was in a lesbian relationship with, God, what's Monica's mom's name?
Carol, no. Shit, I don't know. Something Rambo.
Captain Rambo. This is what we'll call her.
Sure.
That's what they refer to it in the movie. But, like, they just constantly try and drive that bit home where, like, she's gay-coded and, like, they're lovers. And then also says that she's a beard for the prince that was on the singing planet, having no knowledge that that character was gay. They just assumed that.
Also, the entire planet fucking sings, dude. Do you really think he needs a beard?
The Higher, Further, Faster, he tried to make a joke about that being a fingering thing. And he goes, I know, like, higher, further, faster, they're talking about flying, but I also think couldn't it be like a fingering thing? And I just like, this is the level of criticism these people are giving.
I think I
don't give a shit.
No, I know.
No, Tyler, this is the thing. I want to make this abundantly clear because I don't think people get it.
Yeah.
I don't care that they don't like the movie.
No.
I hate it when they constantly push these bullshit lies.
Well,
and
they get clicks.
And trying to... It's just...
If you're an
why,
idiot...
like, this is why I think it's lies, because I truly don't... Or maybe they do. I don't know anymore. I try and give people the benefit of the doubt. But here's the thing. It's kind of hard not to see that you do this shit for clicks. And it works because we're talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel the need to talk about it because I'm like, it's frustrating because if you don't like something, no one's asking you to watch it. And yes, we have jokingly watched movies that are bad. Like we trashed RoboCop 3, right?
Oh, it's terrible.
But we actually had criticisms of the movie.
Yeah,
we didn't just flat out say, well, it's women in the lead, it's woke. It's a black character or Asian character, whatever minority. Oh, it's woke. And this is what it was 40 minutes of that. Half of their criticisms, they were talking about that shit. And I know because I watched the whole fucking 40 minutes.
I think all you beta males, sorry, alpha males, whatever you want to call yourselves, douchebags, fucking tiny dickless wonders. I think you all need to understand that two women being friends and like hugging and sharing a really deep bond doesn't fucking mean that they're fucking banging, bumping uglies, dude.
Also, there's other people...
Doesn't mean that they're scissoring after hours,
There's just other criticisms I saw
wanted to say scissoring.
On the Daily Mail about these characters, like, well, the audience are just tired of mean, callous women. And I'm like,
what?
All three of these characters cry. All three of these characters hug each other.
Yep.
All three of these... Brie Larson is chasing cats. Like, this movie is fun.
Yes.
You want it to be this humorless enjoy. Oh, that was another criticism that Film Threat had. They're like, it's this joy. It's this sexless. It's something where like they don't like none of these characters. Like they continue the complaint of Marvel isn't sexy enough or whatever. I can't even remember the exact thing, but there was like one of the guys name's Alan. He's Asian, and he
no
said,
relation.
He said, "Oh, thanks putting another Asian in a sexless relationship," talking about the Prince of the Singing Planet. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And also, here's why I don't take your review that seriously, is you all introduce each other and say, we're diverse, but we're not the right diverse, because there was a black guy, I can't remember that guy's name, but there was a guy named Latino Slant, and then Alan is Asian, and they're like, yeah, we're diverse, but we're not the right diverse to review this movie, joking that, oh, we're men, so we can't talk about this movie. And it's just...
Well, you just have no fucking clue. Have they ever talked to an actual woman before? It seems like they haven't. I mean,
well, Chris and Alan both have kids. So
how?
That's a good question. That's a real good question. I want to bring up Alan, his sidekick, Chris Gore's sidekick, his comments. And I want to keep driving this shit home. All right, so here's what Alan said. A superhero movie clearly made... He made it rotten, by the way, on Rotten Tomatoes. A superhero movie clearly made and produced by people who have never read a comic book but read Archie instead. It feels like it was made for teen girls and not actual comic book fans. He also doubles down on this by tweeting that the Kamala Khan intro in the movie... he says any beginning scene in a movie sets the tone for what the movie's going to be, and then uses her little fan fiction comic book intro to be the example. He's like, see, it's made for teenage girls. So these are the people we're dealing with. It sucks that the Marvels had such a low box office, but Marvel's going to be fine.
Are you trying to say that teenage girls should not be allowed to read comics or something? I mean, what is your point here? Because I'm a comic fan and I enjoyed it.
You're not a real comic book fan.
I guess that excludes you from being a real comic book fan. Guess what? I've also read Archie, you fuck. A lot.
Yeah, well, you're a fake nerd because you're woke.
I guess.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it sucks that the Marvels bombed. It's bound to happen. It was. I don't think anybody. It did perform lower than expected, and now it will take the title over The Flash for the biggest bomb. So, but that leads us to ask some questions. Where the MCU is headed.
Mm.
So you and I have some theories.
Yep.
Tyler, what do you think?
Well,
We're gonna deep dive into this.
I think right now you have a lot of moving parts. You have a lot of strings, that are needing to be kind of tied off and tied up. And one of the criticisms about the MCU so far has been no direction in Phase 4 and so far Phase 5. And I would argue that Phase 1 and 2 were largely the same. Now, we don't remember Phase 1 and 2 because, well, I do, but the shitheads who are, calling for the death of the MCU don't, because that's their main criticism. I think what's going to happen is that there's going to be a soft reboot sooner than later. And that the Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty, or it's Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars, right? The two next Avengers movies?
Yeah.
The ones that were announced?
Yeah.
Kang Dynasty first, yeah. I think that's gonna be a way to soft reboot the MCU so that they can kind of come back. Because if Feige's not thinking about this, he there's no way he's not thinking about this. But the fact remains is that you still have characters like Mark Ruffalo, who is getting older, like Chris Hemsworth, who's getting older. Chris Evans, if he ever decides to come back, he's getting older. The guy who played Cable, Josh Brolin, he's old. And Ryan Reynolds is no spring chicken
How
either.
much it's gonna cost?
$1 million, bitch.
More than that.
The
but-
point is that he wants to start the MCU fresh with all of the characters he has at his disposal, with all like-aged actors within reason, because some characters are older than others, whatever. But like that, and then move forward from there. So all he's doing now is trying to hold the shit together and get it through to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we don't see the X-Men or the Fantastic Four until Secret Wars. I know we have a Fantastic Four movie coming out, and it's in development, but I don't know how much I believe that, because I really truly believe that Feige wants to start over with the X-Men, with Spider-Man, with all the Fox shit, and start fresh with all new actors. That's what I believe he's doing. So whatever that takes for the next 5 years to get there, that's what he's doing.
But we're also going with the idea that the X-Men, like it is the idea that you and I talked about with Loki season 1, where we said that the X-Men are going to be in a pocket universe.
Yes.
And that's based on what we saw with the Beast stuff. With the
the fact that Jackman's back and Deadpool 3 now,
which that will be a multiverse story too,
right?
Because
We can take that.
They're not touching Logan.
Exactly.
They already said that.
We can take that with a grain of salt that Jackman's back, because it is a kind of a one-off thing.
It's a last ride for him, I think. Because
exactly.
we never got the Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool acts outside of the MCU. It's nice of that to do that. So he can have Hugh Jackman back, but that doesn't mean he's back as Wolverine or whatever in the MCU. That just means that he's back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3, and that's it.
I still think that he's going to kill off the Fox universe.
Yeah.
And he's bringing I don't know if he's going to bring that parallel universe in that Monica's in.
Right.
But I think that's probably where we're headed. Mm-hmm. Because again, this is we all have the assumption that he's going to kill off the Fox universe.
Yeah.
Because we saw the set photos and all that other stuff. I don't know. I don't know what could happen.
Deadpool 3 will explain a lot. Or it might not explain anything.
It's just insane to me to think that Deadpool is going to be the one that's going to anchor in the X-Men with Wolverine. But he's going to be the one that's going to bring in the new No McAvoy, which sucks because I like Fassbender as Magneto. But no Fassbender, no Ian McKellen. Not Patrick Stewart. The dude's almost like he's in his 80s.
Dude, yeah.
It was nice to have him in Multiverse of Madness as like a nice little Easter egg cameo, but
right. But you could even tell in that movie the little amount of screen time he had.
They were very limited with what they could do.
Yes,
and what he could do.
So one thing we gotta understand too is Look, for my money, if you're looking for, I wouldn't mind seeing, if you are going to do a race swap, I wouldn't mind seeing Giancarlo Esposito as Xavier instead of Magneto, because they were talking about him for Magneto.
He's too typecasted to be Magneto.
Really?
He should. Well, yes, he's always.
I think if you offered him the chance to be a good guy,
he's always this deep voiced. That's what I mean. Why I think it's a good idea for him to be Charles.
Right?
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm saying that yes, because
That's what I
he
think.
deserves to be a good character because he's always plays villains and he always plays.
He's good at
this
it.
deep voice.
Right, he's good at it, but that doesn't mean, I would like to see, and so if we have him as Charles, and also, I understand that in the comics Magneto's white and Charles Xavier is white, so when they talk about race swapping, they often say something like, okay, both guys are going to be black, or both guys are going to be Latino, or both guys are going to be Asian, or what, right?
Yeah.
But why can't it be Giancarlo Esposito, I believe, is black and Latino?
Yeah.
So why can't it be that he's Charles Xavier and he's just not white, and then the Magneto guy is also not white? Like, why can't we have...
I think because, well, you could still, and you could keep, but I think being Jewish is so tied to his character.
Magneto?
Yeah.
It is.
And you could make him a black person that had to deal with, because black people were put in the camps too.
Well, the entire X-Men,
or I don't know
though,
if they were put in the camps, but they were definitely killed. Black people were killed by Nazis. So I mean,
I don't know how many there were in Europe. But they were undesirable because they were not white and they were not Christian and they were not blonde haired and whatever, Aryan, whatever.
They pretty much killed whoever they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What about Giancarlo Esposito as Charles Xavier and Antonio Banderas as Magneto?
Will you stop making woke X-Men?
No, seriously.
Wokesman.
He's old enough now that, he's got that, right?
Again, I still think it's hard.
You can have a Jewish Latino.
You
Asshole.
You know what? That's all the point.
You sound like Nerdrotic, man.
It's a good point.
You sound like heel versus fuckface.
Wow.
You sound like Melody Mack.
Okay. It's enough. You knock it off.
You wish you sounded like Melody Mack.
Yeah. I
That's
think
us clout chasing.
But it definitely is a point that like they're trying to for sure making a point that they want their Fantastic Four movie to come out soon. I'm just a little concerned, and I think they're going to change this again because we just saw because Deadpool is July 2024. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's the next MCU movie.
Instead
right?
of May, it's July now. They pushed it back,
which is
a couple
crazy.
months.
The next MCU movie.
Yeah,
is...
but dude, they got to fix this because my God, because 2025 right now, there's 4 movies coming out. That's too much. I'd say you go 2 and 2. Because if again, this is the problem that people have with the Disney Plus MCU stuff is it's too much.
Yeah.
And I thought hold on. I thought about this and I thought, well, I honestly feel like we talked about it when we were watching the Marvels.
Yeah.
It did kind of feel weird because it did kind of feel like you didn't need to watch the shows, right? But by the nature of it being in the MCU, you think it's interconnected. And I think so if people have criticisms of the Marvels and saying it was like too hand-wavy of the Disney Plus shows, I think that's a fair criticism.
Sure.
And I think that makes you wonder with what they're going to do. But that could change.
I have two
because they've made an effort to make changes to how they do TV.
Right.
So I don't know. But I'm just saying 4 movies in 1 year is a lot.
Well, I have 2 things to say about this, and one of them is when is the first James Gunn DC movie coming out? I suppose it's Blue Beetle.
It's still July 11th, 2025. That's super.
2025.
Yes.
So So I was just curious about that.
Look, or sorry, Creature Commandos is coming out before that, but I don't remember exactly when it's coming out.
Look, I don't know.
I think I could be wrong.
Okay. I don't care.
I'm pretty sure Superman's the first thing. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
I like Marvel Comics, right? And here's something that I haven't really thought about, and it's a lot different because of the scale. But when I go and get comics every Wednesday, I'm not buying every single Marvel that came out that Wednesday. I don't buy every comic book that Marvel puts out every month. I don't, because there's some stories I care about, and some I don't. I'm not reading any of the Thor shit because it's in a totally different whatever. I was reading Hulk because I got jumped into the ground floor of that new series, but now it's been too long.
Yeah. I mean, but that's with everything, you know. I think
there are way too many X books. There's no way. If I do any X books a month, it's 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And there's like 19 every fucking month, dude. Now, when you think about it like that, it's a different scale, but that I don't have to watch every single piece of content that the MCU puts out. And I don't.
And I will say,
I like to.
Yeah.
I like to. And truth to tell, if I had the money for it, I would buy every book that Marvel put out every month so I could I would. If I could afford it.
But
so it's okay to not watch everything.
So on one hand, I could say you could feel that way, but on the other hand, there is an extra level of I understand things differently, and I understand in the context of Monica's relationship with Carol and how she got her powers and all that stuff with WandaVision, and the Miss Marvel show having the context of that show, and that family, being around that family, you know, it was nice to see them back, and like so I mean, it really depends on what you want to get out of it. If you want to get out of the idea to get like, okay, it's just some extra MCU stuff, expands the lore a little bit, and it's just a way so you don't have to make origin movies anymore. Like you're like, okay, we can put this character in a show and they can just show up because we've already done the legwork to make it where this universe is big. This universe has all these characters and it's big, but it's also small. Like they're gonna run into each other. It happens.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the way to look at it. Is like it is, and we've talked about it. It's like comic books. It's like miniseries. Like that was the Miss Marvel miniseries, and now she's in an event book that's the Marvels, and that's the one thing I do love about the MCU. Is flawed as comic books can be, and this can be, and this is. It is kind of fun to think like it does kind of still operate like that, and we're also seeing like Loki showed what. If you talk about Loki and WandaVision, to me, stand out as the best, some of the best, I would say arguably the two best shows from the MCU, because they found a way to carve their niche, and they found the little pocket that they carved themselves into. And that's what you're going to start seeing with Blade, which is why I'm excited that Blade happens, and it's an R-rated movie. I mean, now we have an R-rated Deadpool, and he's going to be his own little pocket, and that's going to also maybe turn into the X-Men stuff. And like, and Echo, like the Echo trailer, we haven't had a chance to talk about.
No, we haven't.
That looks fucking awesome.
I haven't seen it.
It's TVMA, and it's going back to like the Netflix Marvel roots. Cool. And I'm like, fuck yes. Because I had no interest in watching that movie. When we were talking about, every time we talked about it, I'm like, I'm not going to fucking watch Echo. I don't care. Like, I like that Hawkeye show, but I was like, Echo's not speaking to me.
I probably won't watch the Agatha Harkness.
Probably not going to do that. But Echo,
unless I have time, which I do have a lot of time.
It's showing me like Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin be the Kingpin we love. Like you see him beating the fuck out of a dude and his hands bloody. Like this is going to be a gory, violent show. And it's going to harken back, and we get a little shot in the trailer, a brief shot of Charlie Cox as Daredevil. And I'm also excited that what they did was like, hey, this isn't working. If we're going to do this Daredevil show, let's like do it right.
Yeah.
So when you look at the grander scheme of things, with the finale, you and I were talking about how Loki, also the MCU people that name this shit, like name these products, are so lazy. They released a Funko Pop based on this version of Loki, and it's just called God Loki. Not God of Stories or anything cool. It's just the custodian of the multiverse is the nickname I've seen on Twitter and stuff. No, God Loki. Loki was already a god, Marvel.
Yeah, fuck faces. Actually, technically, they're aliens.
He was technically a frost giant.
They're all aliens.
Ancient aliens.
Fuck off.
Think about it.
The dude with the hair.
Yes. So I mean, but because you and I talked about it when we talked about the Loki finale, we think that like in the grander scheme of things, that Tom Hiddleston is coming back because he released a
At some
statement.
point.
He did release a statement thinking like, if you think I'm truly gone, you're mistaken because I've been dead like a couple times already. Because you thought he died at the end of Thor. He was dead at the end of Ragnarok, but then they used the multiverse to bring him back. So we just need the scene of Chris Hemsworth's Thor meeting this Loki.
Yes.
Because it's going to be such a heart-wrenching scene because Thor is going to be so proud of his brother. Because that's really what I want out of everything. That's what I want. I think you're onto something when you think that Loki's going to reset everything with Secret Wars. He's going to untangle. He's going to let go and untangle the timelines.
Well, I think it's
Or
it's a perfect way to the way they're writing it. It's a perfect way to do a soft reboot without like incurring the wrath of like millions. You know what I mean? It's an easy way to go, hey, all that shit still is and will always be.
Well, they've already done that.
Yeah, but you know what though? We're moving into a new direction. You know, we're gonna start this MCU with the Fantastic fucking Four. Like the fucking comics started, because that was the first.
And I truly think after all this, I think they're gonna just step away from after Secret Wars. It's it. They're not playing with multiverse stuff anymore. No. But it's also an excuse to say like, and we've been talking about this for since we started this podcast. I've mentioned this a few times.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Warner Brothers and DC, but allowing Matt Reeves to have his own Batman universe and Joker be its own thing is a good idea, because it's when you introduce the multiverse and you introduce it to a mass audience now you're saying to people that don't read comics and don't follow this stuff usually outside of just seeing these movies that all the movies that you love, guess what? There's a multiverse. They exist.
Yeah.
And you can just watch whatever movie.
Well, you can
want.
do like there's some crazy shit out there like what the fuck is, I can't remember the TV show, but there's a TV show that I'm not gonna get into it now, but there's a TV show from like the 80s that has like so many different characters from so many different like IPs that like what the fuck show is it?
Just you're not gonna get it.
I'm not gonna get it. The point is that this show proves that there's a multiverse of like disparate things like as things as like, you know, Little House on the Prairie and like RoboCop are connected through this like TV show.
Yeah.
I'll remember it for next week. I can't remember what it is now. I'm blanking, but and the way it is. But look, man, you know, Richard Belzer played John Munch in like 17 different fucking properties, man. You know, I'm just saying it's been around for a long time. It's only now that we're actually saying multiverse.
What's also kind of weird to me about the release, and I think they're gonna get shuffled again, but I find it weird that Captain America: Brave New World is like pretty much done.
Yes.
But Deadpool is still releasing before it.
Yeah.
And they're still shooting Deadpool. As far as I know, I know. Wait, hold on. I think Captain America is doing reshoots in January, which not uncommon. Every movie does fucking reshoots. Not a big deal. I hate when people like freak out about reshoots.
Well, because back in the day, that's what that used to mean.
Sometimes it could be bad, but most of the time, I feel like reshoots tend to fix things, unless it's I don't know. Usually, it's not that big of a deal.
No.
And I just think when it's certain movies, I mean, like Justice League and shit like that, but those are outliers. Most movies that have reshoots aren't that bad.
No.
So I'm just wondering why that happened, and maybe it's a timeline reason. It could be. I don't know. Do you think we're gonna get Red Hulk in Brave New World? Because why bring back Ross? Unless you don't plan on doing something
John
with
Hurt
Red
is
Hawk.
dead.
I know that, but you know what I mean? I think they were going to do that anyway.
So who would be Red Hulk then?
I still think Harrison Ford is going to be his character. He's going to be Red Hulk.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, we're supposed to see the leader, aren't we?
Yes. Which is Timothy Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson.
It's Timothy.
Oh, is it? Fuck off.
Timmy. I don't know why I said Timothy. But
Tim Blake Nielsen.
what do you think's gonna happen with that? Because he's a Hulk villain. Why are we doing a Hulk villain in a Captain America movie?
I don't know. I really don't.
And now you also got to consider the Young Avengers, which is going to be Miss Marvel. It's going to be
probably going to be a
Bishop,
TV show, though. I'll bet.
Kate Bishop,
I'll
Hawkeye.
bet you anything that they turn that into a TV show so that they can introduce them into the movies as a team.
Maybe.
That's my guess. And
see, people think that they don't think. Is Scar also called Hulkling? I can't remember.
he's not the same character. No.
So
but
there's a belief that was not
he
Scar,
could be a young.
that was not Scar and She-Hulk. That was Hulkling, was what I think some people might be considering. I don't think that's true. I don't know what they were fucking doing with that, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, but I could see them bringing in the leader.
What if Deadpool 3 is Deadpool Secret Wars?
That'd be awesome.
But it's before it.
But they wouldn't be able to. You know what I'd really love to see is.
I don't think this rumor is true, but did you hear the rumor that they were trying to get Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man to also be in the Deadpool movie? I don't buy it. There's also rumors that Taylor Swift is the reason Taylor Swift was hanging out with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds at the Jets-Chiefs game was because they were trying to convince T Swift to be Dazzler.
That would be fucking
in Deadpool 3. Would that be insane?
That'd be awesome.
I'd watch that. I'd be into that. Deadpool 3 has me excited, and I think that
Cameron Crowe, the guy who did Almost Famous and Singles and Jerry Maguire and all that shit, he pitched a Dazzler movie to Feige with Dua Lipa starring.
Really?
Why didn't you jump on that? Also, the guy who made the fucking Plastic Man movie, hey James, hey Jimmy Gunn, hey you guy, you're all cool. Jump on that shit. That sounds awesome.
Ben Schwartz?
Yes. Give me the fucking Ben Schwartz Plastic Man movie, dude. Give him an unlimited budget.
Did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. He did. Speaking of James Gunn, we can segue out of that unless there's any other thoughts you have on the MCU.
No, I don't.
I know this topic, like the idea was like, let's just have a conversation about what we. Will you stop? What we think of the future? Stop. Come on.
I don't get my voice this deep that often, so I really want to play with it.
You derailed it, dude.
Get your ass to Moss.
You're over there just with yourself. You're
having sex with him.
Oh, baby.
I'll eat your ass.
I'll eat your ass.
You will.
I will, if you pay me $1
I'll drink your blood.
I
All
will
right.
eat your ass.
Speaking of blood. Coyote versus actor. So,
speaking of blood,
David Zaslav and his infinite
before
wisdom.
we move on to that, can we talk about, because we haven't, I don't know if you've seen it, but they have on Disney Plus now Werewolf by Night in color.
Yeah, I've seen it. It came out a couple weeks ago.
Why?
Money. Or not money, I don't know.
Is it any, I mean...
It doesn't, I mean...
It's
the same thing. It's just in color.
I know, but why? Like, it was cool that it was in black.
Anyway. I think I watched it and I was just like, still good, still awesome.
Hey, like in the grand scheme of
yes,
watching everything, I could have skipped the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special and all the fucking hype that
actually,
was
you know
brought
what?
up. I could have skipped that shit.
This reminds me real quick.
Yeah.
We were gonna do it this week. We're gonna push it to next week, but we're gonna debut a new segment called Collector's Edition, where we talk more about our physical media.
Oh yeah.
I have Logan on Blu-ray, but I'm gonna watch it in black and white.
Nice.
There's Logan Noir.
Yeah,
it's black and white.
It comes with it.
Because I just want to say I prefer Werewolf by Night black and white.
I would say so.
But I think I'm gonna watch it again because I don't know if I actually watched the whole thing.
Started watching.
I like it. I like.
I
Logan
started
in black
watching
and white.
Logan Noir when I first got, because I got the special edition Blu-ray DVD, and it came with the right. I remember watching. I got through. I think I got to where he goes back to Mexico. to Charles and Caliban,
Yeah.
and he goes back there, and then like when he shows up like at the big compound, I think I something came up.
I'm doing it. I'm watching that movie. We're doing it for
Alright.
collector's edition because I fucking love that movie.
Fucking love it.
Fucking love it. So
Fucking-
David Zaslav,
David Jackass.
he wants
$1 million, bitch.
Okay, that's the 9th time we've used that drop on this episode. I'm just reminding you so you
not my
don't.
fault. It's
Brilliant.
anyway.
Wait,
Let's.
do you get what you pay for?
Yeah, I mean, when you listen to this show every week, you
I got what I paid for.
couldn't find it.
You're just stalling. You
Well, I was gonna say,
you what?
you're on.
Crack cocaine.
Let's talk about David Zaslav fucking it up again for
What a
Warner
dipshit.
Brothers.
What a dick.
So, yeah. So last week circulated on Twitter, or all over social media, that Warner Brothers, who was making a movie called Coyote versus Acme, which was like a live-action CGI mix,
Mhm.
and the plot, as far as I understood it, was Wile E. Coyote was suing Acme because their products
Yeah,
for years
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
fucking up on him.
of course.
And he can't kill that fucking Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And so there, which is
Also-
honestly, can we just address that plot is awesome?
Yeah.
And so funny
Oh, and
on its own.
can we also address the fact that somehow this brilliant fucking canine has not figured out that they serve raw poultry at grocery stores? You stupid fucking coyote.
You could buy all these bombs and shit, but you can't go to a grocery store.
You can't. What?
So yeah.
God, you're dumb. Anyway.
Last week, WB axed another movie for tax purposes. The victim, of course, was this
Fuck
movie,
off.
and the movie was here's the worst part. This movie was finished in post. It was in post production, and I've heard things. Either it was post production or it's finished, or we both know that post production means the movie's pretty much done. They're just editing it and getting it ready to release. This was also co-written by James
They're
Gunn.
basically putting on the titles and shit.
Co-written by James Gunn and starring John Cena, his buddy. Zaslav says no. Cuts it.
Just those three things alone, like automatically you get a better opening weekend than the Marvels. Right? Probably. Cena, Gunn,
Well,
and Warner Brothers cartoons?
This is what continues to show
Looney
to
Tunes?
This is what continues to show to me that
I'm showing up.
David
every weekend.
Zaslav doesn't care at all. We've already said it already.
Well, he's a
Does
fuck.
not care at all about the creative side of a movie studio. I want to address an entertainment company. Your whole point, Tyler, your whole point is to create content. And then what do you say to people that want to make movies for you when you just say, hey, great work, you got it, you wrote the script, you filmed it, it's done, it's in post-production, ready to go, guess what? We don't need it.
We're going to go
Tax
ahead and
cut.
shelve it so that we can get
Oh.
ahead of our taxes because we suck at business.
And, you're an artist, and the only thing you want to do is share your art with other people. Guess what? We can't, because if we don't, legally, we'll get attacked by the IRS. So it goes into a vault to never see the light of day. And it's so fucked up that the system that this is what happens when you let 5 or 6 fucking production companies run everything.
Well, when Gunn came on to run the DCEU, whatever,
DCU now,
whatever,
no E.
whatever. Wasn't Zaslav the guy who came on with him?
Zaslav hired Gunn. Well, here's the bet.
So DC is fucked then, and Warner Brothers is fucked. No, dude, if that
Yeah,
guy is in
because-
charge of Gunn, then all he has to do is just go, "Oh, Superman sucks, so we're not going to do it." Tax purposes.
But here's the thing.
Fuck you.
I'll give you a reason why I don't think that's true in a minute.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. Before this other news that comes out about this movie, what the fuck are you saying to a studio head that you took a movie that he co-wrote
Yes!
starring one of his friends?
Yes.
and just say to him, I don't care, we need tax money. It continues to show that Zaslav, again, or as we already mentioned, doesn't care about artists and their art. He also is just trying to sell Warner Brothers, trying to just sell
He's
off.
trying to jack the
he's
prices
fire
up so he can-
selling,
yeah.
doing a fire sale so he can try and sell. They want to sell. They don't want to keep it. And again, who is going to work for you? Who is going to say, yes, I'll direct this movie? Because why would you? Batgirl, gone. This movie, gone. Done. Finished. Ready to go. And you know what?
Here's why
that
they
tax
still
money,
will. Yeah.
that $90 million you saved
Yeah.
on Batgirl, you didn't make any. You didn't make. You would probably really like to have that $90 million. I'd love to see that budget on any other movie.
No shit.
$90 million, but no, we got to make The Flash for $300 million and tank.
And it
Completely
sucks. And it
tanked.
sucks. After 9 years, the CGI still looks like it
So-
was made in 2007.
You were gonna say something, and then I'll move on to the next part of this.
Fuck, I don't know if I remember.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Anyway,
I do it all the time. No, what are you doing?
so here's the thing.
What are you guys?
There's an update to this story.
Oh.
So Backlash has led to this movie getting a new life. So Warner Brothers will not distribute it, but they're not taking it. They're not completely axing it, and they're selling it off. So they're
A24 to the rescue.
Apple TV Plus is looking at it. I think they said Universal and Paramount have shown interest. They're kind of showing it out. They're taking it out and screening it. And I want to say this, and I want to make this very clear to Zaslav, and you got to go agree with me on this. And I know you will.
gotta.
You gotta. If this gets a theatrical release, I'll be there fucking night one.
Yep.
I will do it.
I just said earlier, like, dude, I would go the first weekend. That sounds like
Just
an
to
awesome
prove a
movie.
point. Just to prove a point.
That,
You're
but it
giving
also
up-
sounds awesome.
What is synonymous with Warner Brothers? DC and Looney Tunes.
Yes.
And you're going to just throw away one of your prized properties. By the way, a studio that doesn't have a lot to offer for animation for kids. I mean, yeah, you got the DC animated movies.
Yeah, but those are not meant for kids.
No.
Largely
A lot of
not.
them are like PG-13. They're like run-of-your-mill action movie. There's some, like, they dabbled in some more adult ones. But yeah,
Sure.
they're not like this.
Yes.
And you continue to kill your animation suit. Like, Warner Brothers, when you think about animation, all these years you think of Looney Tunes, you think of Mickey Mouse, and you're just going to get rid of that. So I hope it gets released theatrically, and I hope people show out for it. And you know what? I know that Zaslav is still going to get money out of this. He's still going to make a percentage, but I want to be like, you could have made a lot more money, and you left money on the table.
Well, fuck Zaslav.
Because you know what? How ridiculous is it that you own this property? You've owned this property for years. It's made your fucking company what it is, and you won't even distribute it. Because you're so bad at this.
Yeah, you have to axe movies to save taxes. You suck.
Yeah.
Hire a fucking accountant.
Couldn't even be bothered to put it on fucking HBO Max.
Hire-
Couldn't even bother to put it there.
Right. Why the fuck didn't they put Batgirl? Just throw it on fucking Max.
That's what it was made for.
Why?
That was previous management.
I don't understand.
That was
the
Hamada.
business
That was Walter Hamada.
That if you put it away, you make more money off of it.
Because this country makes no sense.
Yeah, fucking fucking.
You don't have learned.
Hey, I'm Vivek Ramaswamy, and fucking capitalism lifts us out of poverty. Maybe you fucking cheating motherfucker.
Crack cocaine.
That's what Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek.
Whatever.
It's Vivek like cake. Your face. But also, I want to mention.
Dude, I hate
some
that guy
people.
so
some
much.
people criticize James Gunn.
God is real. There are
Are you
two
done? Can we
genders.
move on? Jeez, get it together. Anyway, so people criticize James Gunn because he didn't respond to the news. Because again, it's starring his friend. He's co-written, but
Maybe he's busy.
James Gunn did respond after the news came out that they were shopping it, and it was just a picture on Instagram of Wile E. Coyote cooking, which pretty much kind of sending a message. And I think that's why James Gunn's DC is going to be just fine, because he sent a message to Zaslav, be like, you motherfucker, you are leaving money on the table. And I want to point out that James Gunn only has a 5-year contract right now. And
What is year one already?
I was talking with.
Is year one already almost up?
Here's a conspiracy theory. I was talking with a friend about this, and they.
That is a conspiracy theory. You don't have any friends.
and they were saying that like with all this happening was like James Gunn said, listen, you're gonna release this movie. Right. I don't care. It doesn't have to be through Warner Brothers, but you need to get this out. Like,
better fucking do it.
What better story would it be than to have James Gunn go and do this with DC, and Zaslav fucks it up to where he says, okay, Kevin, I'm coming home.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes over Marvel Studios as the heir apparent from Kevin Feige. Because Feige's going to be gone soon. It's like in the next
some point.
In like the next 5 or 6 years, he's probably going to hang it up. Maybe he'll do it forever. I don't know. But wouldn't it be perfect if James Gunn goes back and runs Marvel Studios? Because again, Warner Brothers can't figure it out. Now, I don't want that to happen. I want DC to be successful. So I want James Gunn to be successful, but I truly think he'll be more successful when Zaslav is gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it also gives me hope that James Gunn has control over his shit. And he's just be like,
that's good.
Listen, bitch, you release this movie, or I'm going to grab you by the balls.
All right, what's next?
You will not believe it, Tyler.
That's the worst segue ever.
I don't know why.
You
will not believe it.
Believe it.
I wanted to make it sound like a game show. I thought it worked. Well, Tyler, you just won Alf.
No.
Alf. Hey, Tyler, I'm Alf. It's kind of good.
It's Gordon Shumway, actually.
In this show, yes. And
that's what his real name is all the time. They call him Alf.
It's like alien something, right? Alien life form?
Alien life form.
Alf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his name is... They call him Alf, but he reveals it at some point in the TV show that his name is Gordon Shumway. That's what his name has always been. But they called him Alf, and he just stuck, or whatever. So it's time for Alf?
Well, yeah. Every so often we do our retro reviews of cartoons of yesteryear, and it's time we watch I would say forgotten. I don't think a lot of people know about the Alf animated series.
I mean, I think people are
Alf
maybe
Tales.
aware of. Well, first you have to be aware of Alf, which.
Well, it's a relic of the time. See, it's getting better. Give me yours. Give me your
Willie,
Alf.
give me the cat to eat.
Give me your best Alf.
That was.
No, come on. You got to do the voice.
That's not the voice.
That's kind of close.
No, it's not. Willie!
We'll be back.
Stick around.
Well, this was originally going to be the Alf segment, but we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I want to fix the audio, because I think I can fix it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll get it fixed, because I do want to put that up there. So
if not, we'll just have to watch the goddamn episode again.
Oh, I would not like that. See, it's getting better.
I want you to practice that every fucking day.
You know what we should do?
If we're really going to do the Melmac Daddies...
It was discussed in that segment when we do eventually put it up, that because you'll know when the video goes up. But Tyler is weirdly protective of Alf, as the character. Anytime I try to make jokes, actually, to me.
No, the reason why...
And now he wants to do the Melmac Daddies podcast.
The button thing in the segment, which if what...
Yeah.
Quick aside, the button thing is because the joke he says should have been the red one.
You are just so much fun at parties, aren't you? Damn it.
Son of a bitch. Nothing's
working. Ever.
I quit.
Okay, the song's working now.
Okay, thank God.
I was thinking about
I was going to quit.
You were?
No.
That's means so much to me, man. Thanks so much for listening to another episode. 1, 2, 3 in the books.
Next week on Apple Off Topic,
we will wrestle a bear. Covered in honey.
Thumb wrestling, which means we'll win because bears don't have thumbs.
You fucking loser. We got you. You think because you're an apex predator, you can fucking...
Oh,
Ooh,
sure.
I'm a bear.
Sure. You could bite a fucking chunk out of my head, but I can beat you in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Could you
I
beat
declare
me?
thumb war, motherfucker.
Could you beat me in chess? Hell, you could even beat me in checkers, you fucking bear.
Oh, one swipe of your arm and I'm dead. But guess what? I can play video games.
Fucking. Can you start a podcast? No, because you can't talk, bear. So yeah, we're going to fight a bear next week, live on the show. I apologize to the audio listeners. This is just me.
That'd be horrifying. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.